Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. What's next on the list? I don't actually even know. Haven't looked yet. So last time we did the LO5, and then we did Team Fortress 2, so I guess now we're moving on to Chimera. A synthetic virus made of 3 well-known viruses is ready for you to unleash its power. An abundance of horror and death, unique traits, and many strategic opportunities are waiting for discovery. I'm already really excited about this one just from the opening. You gain access to a Chimera, which in this is a virus made out of influenza, HIV, and Ebola. Wow, what a combo. Very weak at the beginning, you need to evolve to your special needs. Infection will be slow in the first couple of months. That is intentional and should not bother you too much. It's fun! Well, thank you! I guess the verdict has already been announced. It is fun. Please let me know if you want to suggest some changes. Cool, okay. So the Chimera, if you don't know, from Greek mythology, is a mythical beast. I believe it was the body and head of a lion with the tail of a serpent, and for some reason it's got like the body of a goat, like sticking out of the back. I don't really understand it entirely, but I think that's basically what a Chimera is supposed to look like. But in this, it's just the cross between 3 different viruses, and it is actually going to be a virus type, so that's fun. Catalytic switch, genetic mimic, optic site, extremophile, and transstasis? Yeah, okay, we'll go ahead and do all of those. Normal difficulty, My Lovely Chimera. What is this, My Little Pony or something? My Lovely Chimera? No, let's just do Chimera. I don't need to make it complicated. Virologist goes ballistic. One of the world's... Okay, so I guess now we've completely decided to eliminate all grammar and capitalization and apostrophes and so on. One of the world's top virologists still is in custody after her Why does it have to be a woman? The author deliberately made this virologist a woman. I don't know I don't know if I'm supposed to get some sort of message, or maybe I'm just overly sensitive because of our PC culture, but there it is. Her violent freakout at an annual conference. Besides the rumors about her being involved in bioterrorism, an investigation on missing samples is in progress at her facility. We have to start in the United States. 3 samples are now confirmed to be missing. Information about her preaching the end of the world, I don't know why it's in apostrophes, may be more than just a hint for psychosis. Authorities are confident to solve the situation very soon. The official statement is that the current concerns are based on a scary coincidence. Okay. I get the gist of what you're saying there. I like the cut of your jib. Okay, that's fine. So, starting off in the United States is usually pretty fun. Let's see what we got as far as our transmission. We start off with Civilization Multiplier. Civilizational vectors. I don't know what that means, but okay. And then Zoonosis, animals as vectors. Okay, vectors is an interesting choice of word, but I guess we'll go with that. We have the Ebola genome, we have the HIV genome, and the influenza genome. But nothing unlocked from there. Abilities, Genesis. Crossing that line can't be undone, so keep your smile and push the button. I'm smiling right now. Push the button. Okay, we got it. What's this? Subway to Doom. Subway to Doom? Is that like Highway to Hell? I'm on a subway to doom. I don't know. A crowded train station near the airport. People pushing. Perfect. Let's make some carriers. Sure, it's only 1 DNA. I feel like they're walking me through like a story more than anything else right now. Alright, that opened up a lot of stuff. We have our drug resistance. We have our genome interaction, which I suspect has something to do... Well, what does that have to do? Some parts of the genome start to interact. I guess it starts mixing these things together, so that's probably the gating mechanism to increasing our symptom access. Then we have Bridge 1, intersection. No idea what that means. Influenza. Urban and cold environments. HIV. Infective in many different ways. Ebola, poor and rural. Heat resistance, cold resistance. Okay. Well, I don't understand what bridge or genome interaction are supposed to do. I was assuming it has something to do with interaction of more symptoms, but the bridge thing now confuses me. Is this saying it now is going to unlock, let's say, these that link the HIV to the Ebola? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. As far as our transmission, we now have access to planes, just random objects, wealthy, poor, and urban. That's really good. Car, land, wealthy, and urban. Also very good. Hospital, poor and wealthy, and mutation. Ships for water. Fish for mutation and sea. Livestock for mutation and rural. Rodents for mutation, poor, rural, and urban. Insects for hot, humid, and poor, and then birds for one leads to one spore-like infection event and land transmission. So presumably this works a little bit like a fungus and it will infect a random country. So I may want to save the birds for another time. Oh, we just randomly got into 3 more countries for fun. Well, thank you, game. That was very generous. Okay, so we probably do need to start off then with some early game symptoms. We start in the United States, so wealthy and urban is going to be good for us. That means that objects is a pretty good option. There's also cars. Land, wealthy, and urban. That seems perfect. We're going to go for car infection. Why would the virus specifically target cars? Oh, look, a porcelain vase. No, I don't want to infect that. That's not good enough. Oh, look, a broom. That's not good enough. A car. Perfect. I'm only going to infect cars until I evolve some other traits. I don't understand that, but all right. Car it is. Done. Wealthy and urban and land. That should make things a little bit easier in the United States, even though it's still very slow. The author was not kidding. It is slow. Hello? Did you just crash on me? No, it paused, apparently. I didn't realize I had hit pause. I thought I clicked the world button. Okay, we got 4 more points. I guess we're just gonna have to kind of sit around and wait for some early game DNA to come through. I mean, with the cars, I feel like I made the best decision I really can to try and speed things up, but maybe we want to go for, let's see, poor and wealthy, but mutation could be bad for us. Wealthy, poor, and urban. Even better for spreading in the United States, and the poor will start to affect some of the places in, let's say, Africa, Sudan, for example, or maybe Indonesia or Peru. So now we'll spread faster in our home country of the USA, but we'll also spread faster in the other 3. At least that is my theory. I'm trying to tailor my my transmissions based off of terrain and climate more than anything else. But we'll see how well that works out for us. Charity warns against attaching balloons to pets. You'd think that would be common sense, but in the age of the internet, maybe not. 17 points. Okay, do we go for planes? Do we go for bridge 8? What is bridge? Bridge 8? How do we get 8? We went from 1 to 8. Okay, well, we have our hospitals, we have our ships. Fish, livestock, rodents are pretty good. Poor, rural, and urban. Let's go for the rodents. Now, a little bit of mutation chance does kind of scare me, but maybe it'll be okay. There goes Bodie McBoderface. Yep. I guess that wasn't a, oh, a helix fossil. Oh, that's a reference to, what's it called? Dead Space. There we go. Got it. Nailed it. Totally nailed it. Yeah, Bodie McBoderface. I assumed that was, specifically for the, Team Fortress 2 event, because they already did, like, a squeaker reference. But apparently not. Maybe that's in the base game and I'm just not paying attention. Alright, do we want to go for something else? Insects, hot, humid, and poor? Sure, that'll help us around in Indonesia and Peru, I think, a lot. What about Sudan? That is considered to be hot, certainly, so okay. Now we're getting into Mexico, finally starting to make a little bit of progress. Getting into Canada. Terry Pratchett voted best author ever. Who's Terry Pratchett? That's probably a name I ought to know, if it's a real name. And yet, somehow, it's completely escaping me right now. This is very slow to start us off. We're starting to get around. I mean, now we're in the UK, which is, you know, great, but this is definitely a slower scenario than I expected. I figured the first couple months would be bad, but so far it's been like a year. But okay. So do I want to go for, let's say, the water? Sure, we're going to go for ship transmission. More bridges! So many bridges to cross and burn to the ground, because I never go back. I never even look back, and I don't want people following me. I'm paranoid. So I burn all my bridges, both literally and figuratively. Whoa. Made a lot of progress in Argentina all of a sudden. Now we're starting to get around. The boats do seem to be working pretty well for us. I guess I'll go ahead and grab planes, because I do want to be able to get around by air to some of these islands, like New Zealand and such. I mean, we could get a boat there, but, you know, it's worth a shot. Alright, we're getting into Iceland now. The biggest problem I have right now is that I'm not getting a lot of DNA, and I don't have a lot of severity, so I'm getting basically no DNA whenever I get to a new country, which is proving problematic for me. I'm gonna go for the genome interaction. That opens up nothing over here. Okay, I'm gonna go for bridge 1. That opens nothing. I'm so confused. Okay, maybe we have to get some of these then. If I had to go for... I guess I'd go for influenza first. The wealthy and cold means I'll infect Europe and Scandinavia a little bit faster. If I can get around in there. So let's go for influenza. Did that open up anything? Yes, okay, so now we have some of our genomes opening up. So I guess these were actually the gates. I assumed it would be genome interaction, but no. So what does this actually do? There's bridge 2, genome interaction 2. All parts of the genome start to interact. You know, I really do suspect that some of these are gated behind either bridges or this whole genome interaction thing, but I'm not too sure how that works. We do have fever, but I don't want the lethality. The lethality is insane. No. I wanted severity. I wanted infectivity and severity, but lethality is a surefire way to getting the port shut down. This is going to be a tricky scenario, isn't it? It feels a little bit odd. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm playing it all wrong, but it does seem a little odd to me. So, I guess I have to keep unlocking some more stuff. Let's go for the HIV. Is that lethal? Yes. I don't like it when people start with all of their symptoms having some level of lethality. Now, we don't have any with coughing and sneezing, so I'm going to go ahead and grab sneezing and coughing. Those are relatively cheap for me. And we'll see if those will help. A little more severity means I'm getting some more DNA, finally. What's this? AIDS! Immune system severely weakened. A bit lethal. Makes sense. Pneumonia. Tumors. Immunosuppression. Not good enough. Let's unlock Ebola. That leads to hemorrhaging, dysentery, conjunctivitis, which is okay, I guess, and high fever. Yeah, it's a balance issue, I think, when a scenario allows you to get lethality before you get any severity. Like, severity is an important part to this game, and I think people underestimate that. Severity is important. Well, we just got immunosuppression, so crap, I guess we're lethal now. Severity is important for the sake of, you know, it determines, at least in part, how much DNA you get from, say, bubbles. I kind of need those. But alright. I'm gonna go for the fish. We should also get... What's this? Okay, bridge leads to either shell integrity B. Arid conditions become favorable, impacts arid and poor regions, or shell integrity A, humid and poor regions. So do you want to go for arid or humid? Then we have genome instability, random mutations more likely, pretty expensive. Influenza HIV. Okay, well if it's influenza HIV, then that means that these will become unlocked, won't they? So then what is this? It's the symbol for cure reduction, right? Reducing the cure speed. I have no idea if that's actually how it works in this scenario. Okay, well, shoot. Do I guess, wait, bridges are free? What? Bridges are free, grab. Grab all of them. Why not get bridges? Okay, that's weird. Industry. Triggers spore-like infection event. Impacts cross-country transmission and effectiveness in wealthy countries. 50 points. Too much. There's some air. There's rain. Mail. Contaminated mail circulates around the globe. That's actually a really cool idea, I think, for a scenario. But alright. No bridges here, so let's get this... This bridge does cost DNA, so yeah, I'm confused. I think it's because I have the transstasis, so these are staying free. I guess I'm glad I got transstasis, because that would have been a whole bunch of wasted DNA to try and get... It doesn't even do anything, it literally exists just to drain your DNA and make the scenario harder. Why would you do something like that? That just seems unpleasant and mean-spirited. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to end up getting many, if any, resistances, so let's go for the HIV Ebola, and yes, that does open some stuff. Skin lesions, which is not lethal, but it is infective and severe, so that's exactly what I want. Necrotizing dermatitis. Hey, corpse transmission. Okay, now lethality starts to become pretty good for me. So let's go ahead and grab the skin lesions for the early game severity. Parasites. More effective in poor, humid, and hot countries. That can be helpful. Let's see what I'm missing as far as some countries. Greenland, Sweden, Finland, Turkey, Morocco, Madagascar, and Iraq. Madagascar and Greenland are a problem, so before I go for anything that could be more lethal, I want to try to get to those two countries. If not, then we need to go for the spore-like events as they described them. What else could I go for? You know what, let's go ahead and grab the influenza HIV and see what else is available. Rheumatic osteoporosis, very disabling, a little bit of severity basically. Necrotizing tumors, degenerated cells become seeds of necrosis, disguising symptom. It sounds to me like that's... If it's disguising the symptom, you think it reduces severity, but no, it increases it significantly. Intracranial pressure. Again, a little bit of lethality, not quite what I would have had in mind. Do I want something like rain? Or male? Triggers spore-like infection events. We'll hold on to that then, and see if we can get anywhere else. We got into Morocco. Shockingly, have not gotten into Iraq. They haven't closed their land borders. How have I gotten everywhere I got AIDS? Well, that's something I just said. People are gonna quote that, but I just got AIDS. Hooray! And they fully genomed the sequence. Blah blah blah. Okay, so we have to go for something that's gonna slow them down. There was something that slows down the cure, right? There was something. I know I saw it. Maybe it was in symptoms. No. It was in transmission. I know I saw something that helps with the cure, but I can't remember where I saw it already. So, okay, I guess we're just gonna have to make do with what we've got. I'm gonna go for the male, and let's see if that'll open up Greenland or something. We did get Madagascar. Rheumatic osteoporosis, let's go for the birds. And now we're in Greenland. Okay, good. So now we're gonna go for necrotizing dermatitis for the necrosis. We're gonna go for the, do I want to go for necrotizing tumors? Is that even more corpse transmission? Maybe. Let's go for it and sort of see what happens from there. I need to start killing people ASAP and get more DNA. That is my primary goal right now. So let's go for the parasites then. Parasites are going to be pretty good in the hot countries that I still have not fully infected. Greenland's going to have a hard time no matter what, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that for now. Do I want to go for the intracranial pressure? Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, you fall down, little girl. I prefer to live. So shut up. Those children's rhymes are creepy. Have you ever thought about that? Ashes, ashes, we all fall down because we died of bubonic plague. Kids are freaky, man. That's all I gotta say. Tumors has a bit of lethality attached to it, so we'll go for that. I'm just trying to kill a lot faster right now. The necrosis should make it so that I don't shoot myself in the foot and ruin my ability to infect a country, but if I can kill people, that will reduce their cure progress significantly. Do we go for the hemorrhaging? That's also corpse transmission, so sure. Now, seriously though, I know there was something about the cure. Maybe we got it infected for free. Maybe we mutated it and I didn't pay attention. I can't remember. So, industry would allow for a spore, which I don't need. Rain would not help me. Air would not help me. So there's nothing else I really need in transmission then. As far as abilities, we could go for things like drug resistance. Random mutations could be helpful. So I feel like there's a whole bunch of symptoms we're missing though. Maybe I do need to go for genome interaction. Now that leads to a bridge, which leads to incubation time 2. Symptoms start to occur later. Host is highly infective without showing any symptoms. Why would I want to wait this late to have something like this? By the time I can get to this incubation time 2, I've probably already gotten into every country. We do have influenza, HIV, and Ebola. So this should unlock the final symptoms. We have facial decay. Necrosis mainly affecting the face. Distracting, yeah, no kidding, leading to a lonely, horrible death. There's something that slows the cure right there. Well, that's great. Fever just developed for free. Nice, let's go for the facial decay so we can slow down the cure and people will avoid each other and the horrendous sight of each other's faces. Skull fractures. A sneeze is sufficient to cause destruction. Wow. Rigor. Pain and bleeding become strong enough to permanently immobilize the host by scab formation. Body surface scab. Huh? What? I feel like these are like placeholders in somebody's description. Spontaneous amputation. Parts of the body can't be supported anymore and are rapidly discharged. Oh my gosh, your limbs just literally fall off. Decaying extremities. Slows cure even further. Pretty lethal. Flu-rax. Flu-rax. Influenza symptoms produce synergetic effects with each other. Infectivity and severity are higher than common. I mean, influenza symptoms work together and are more infected than usual. I mean, that's called just actual influenza, you realize. There are no healthy people left in the world. Wonderful. Let's go for the decaying extremities. Why? I don't know. Fun. I should have gone for the spontaneous amputation. If I'm going for fun, that'd be better. But I wanted to slow down the cure, save myself a little bit of score. Alright, let's make your limbs fall off. I don't really know what rigor means. I mean, the scab formation is terrifying, yeah, but the body surface scabbing is just confusing for obvious reasons. Severe pneumonia symptom. Okay. HIV, AIDS, and the poor. HIV symptoms produce synergetic effects with each other. This is... yes, okay. Poor countries are especially vulnerable. Effectiveness in poor countries and overall lethality are higher. So, it looks like just for getting enough of the... oh, that's interesting. So if I finish all of the influenza symptoms like this, then I get a bonus to infectivity and severity. If I get all of the HIV genome symptoms here, surrounding it, then I just got that event. So theoretically then, if I got high fever, I betcha I get the Ebola genome next. Can I get 2 more points? Alas, it does not... well, that's 1. There we go. Okay, let's see. Grab high fever. Do I get the combo? Yes, I do. Ebola. Why are you repeating it? I don't know. Synergetic effects, infectivity, severity, and lethality go up. So yeah, there's combos, they just don't tell you ahead of time, but that makes sense. That's actually kind of cool. I do like that. And that's the end of it. Chimera has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. 2 stars. It took a while, and there was 80% cure progress, so I definitely could have done better. But I didn't exactly understand how this scenario worked, at least for a little while, as far as the gating. I get it now, though. It's a little bit convoluted, so you go for the Ebola, influenza, and HIV genome unlocks, and then you combine them. Then you gotta go down, oh gosh, I don't remember what that tree was called, but it had the beaker symbol. And go up a couple trees there, and then you can unlock all 3 of them working together. I don't know. It's a pretty good scenario. What I don't understand is, like, bridge and stuff. What it feels like to me is somebody left behind some placeholders for symptoms or transmission options or something. Like, they kind of laid out the tree as far as how they wanted things to line up, but they forgot to assign any properties to the bridges. So their placeholders, they just never got filled in which case is kind of an incomplete scenario. That's at least how I perceive it. I don't know if that's right or not. But, yeah, I mean, okay. It was a pretty decent scenario as is. I feel like it needs a little bit of tweaking, and there's just... I don't know. There's some text and those bridges that just don't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like those need to get fixed. But either way. Alright, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.